He will glove it to Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, man. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, okay? And then also click the little bell. That's the notification button, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on a mobile app, wait, come on. Don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Yes, baby, we do. So listen, here's what you do. Wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter where you get them from, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Woolworth, Gold Blast, Weebolts, wherever you get them from. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they're on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence Council the Third. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on a Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So if you have a Roku television in the house, do us this favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel. Put our tile. It's called a tile. That little thingy right there is called a tile. Download the channel. Download our tile. Put it right there, smack dab in the middle of all of them. Of all your streaming services, of Netflix, of Hulu, of Apple Plus, of Prime, HBO, Disney, Stars. BMF was good last week. Paramount Plus. Put them right in there. And you can watch Sports Zone Chicago on the big screen. Hell, run the big screen, right? Mickey, Ficky, now. You can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, all one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Want to follow my lovely co-host Maya Kai? You can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram, because you're an IGer, and you do it just for the gram, we'll just follow her at Maya_Kai. It's MAYA_AKAI. We got a great show, but I need you to get interactive, folks. So listen, whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up on the thread. We'll put it up on the screen and incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. Okay? And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Okay? Let's check out the chat, because the chat is jumping. My man, he's first today. Míralo. Tan temprano, eh? My man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. is in the house. Chicago Bears, 1 o'clock. Good morning, Papa. Yes, they are. Levette Lee's in the house. Good morning, Mama. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. My man, Michelle Walls saying what's up to all the sports owners in the crib, in the house. Jay Grizz up in this mother Hubbard. Hell yeah. He said, good morning, sports owners, Bears, Cubs, Bulls, Blackhawks, and Sky fans. Yeah. Well, not too many White Sox fans are admitting they're fans, and if they do, they're apathetic about the season like I am. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. So, I'm watching TV yesterday for a little while. I was taking a nap. I was taking a nap yesterday, and phone rings. It's 312 number. I'm like, I don't. There's a couple people that call me from 312, so I'm like, okay, maybe they're calling me from work or whatever. Let me pick it up. It's the White Sox. I still have some credit on the tab, because remember a couple years ago. Oh, it's 3 years ago. Damn. So 3 years ago, we for our 50th, a lot of my buddies from high school kind of got together, just kind of want to celebrate their 50th, his party, my party. That it was pretty cool. All right, so we went and got tickets, through a group thing, so it's a little cheaper. And we went the next year and whatever. But I still have some credit left, so they called me and they said, hey, we're having a flash sale on suites. So if you wanted to get a suite, if you're interested in a suite, and I did the guy was so nice. He was a nice dude. He wasn't very pushy or arrogant. You know what I mean? Like, so he was, I said, it's interesting you called me today because, and I didn't go off on him. Sorry for the landscapers in the back. I had the window open and I didn't know they were going to be landscaping today. I'll close it at 9:30 when I next break. But I said, funny that you mentioned, or that you called today. I said, because I was at a family party over the weekend, and most of my cousins are Cubs fans. All right. Why? I don't know. Their parents let them eat lead paint chips. I don't know why, but they did. Okay. That's fine. All right. We don't, as a Catholic, we look out for the less fortunate. Black Rain, what's up, Papa? Good morning. James Ford in the house. And, oh, man, Plank is in this mother Hubbard. Hell yeah, Plank. And so I said, my cousin was saying, hey, we'll just go to Sox Park. So first of all, the tickets are cheaper. Tickets are a lot more available. I'm like, you know what? Screw you. Because you're right. They are available and they are very cheap. So plus we could tailgate, do the whole nine. I said, all right, cool. So most of my cousins who were there were Cub fans, like I said, except my cousin Gabriel. Shout out to Gabriel. And so we planned on doing something this summer. Marlon Johnson in the house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you. And so we're trying to set up a day to go to the Sox game, and they call on, what's today? Tuesday, Wednesday. They call on Tuesday. So that was pretty interesting. The weekend where we had talked about getting a group together, and you know what I think is really cool? Well, what was really cool was there was a mixture of cousins. So there's cousins who are older than me. Like I'm like right now, me and Charles were a year apart. I'm born in 71, he's born in 72. And then the closest cousins are like 4 or 5 years older or younger. All right. So there's not a lot of groups. And growing up, when you're 3 to 4 years, 5 years older, that's a whole different category. Like if they're in high school, you're in grammar school, you can't hang out with them. You know what I mean? And if you're in high school, they're like adults and you don't hang out with them. So, but there was a good number of people at my cousin's party, older and younger, which is really cool. So I digress. Sox called me and they said, well, we're interested. And then he sent me the prices for the suites, which are like almost 50% off. So I'll see if my cousins want to do that. We'll see. But anyway, I digress. We have a great show for you, man. 10 o'clock, my man Ken Davis is in the house. He's going to join us. We're going to talk a lot. We have a lot to talk. We're not going to talk about the White Sox because the White Sox stink. All right? Just the bottom line. They stink. All right, we got Cubs to talk. Crazy went out west yesterday. Got some free baseball, some extra innings yesterday. Did the Cubs win? Did the Cubs lose? We'll talk about that in a little bit. The Bulls. Why I'm wearing my Bulls hat today. I should have worn my pullover. My Bulls. All right, they host a play-in. They're the 9th seed. They host a play-in. If they win, they play the loser of the 7-8 game. So let's go Bulls. So if they win that, they'll get the Boston Celtics in round 1 so they can get blown out. Yes. But Ken's going to talk Bulls with us. We're going to talk Bears. We're going to talk a little bit of Cubs. We're going to talk Chicago Sky. Man, since the last time I saw you, the Chicago Sky have some new stars. See what I did there? Stars in the sky. There's some new stars in the sky. Get it? Got it? I thought of that all by myself. I didn't need any writers for that one. So we got a lot to talk. We have a lot to talk. Ken Davis at 10 o'clock, man. So it's gonna be one heck of a show. So as our old Uncle Hawk Harrelson used to say, sit back, relax, and strap it down because we're about to get in it. Get to it. So you know how we do, folks. You know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Let's see. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Here's what we'll do. We'll go here. The Cubs. The Cubs fall to the Arizona Diamondbacks 12-11 in 10 innings. The professor, Kyle Hendricks, was on a bump, and he had a rough start. He got a no decision, 4 1/3, 5 hits, 7 earned runs. My goodness. 3 walks, 3 punch outs. Ian Happ was 3 for 5 with a double, his fourth. A homer, his first. Oh, yeah, by the way, it was a granny. Wasn't it a granny? I thought it was. Ian Happ, 4 RBIs, 12 on the year. You go, boy. You go, boy. Nico Horner, 4 for 5 with a double, his second, driving in his third RBI of the year. Hector Amaya, 2 for 5 with a double, his first 2-bagger of the season, driving in his 5th and 6th runs of the year. All right, moving on to the next. Staying with the Cubs. The Cubs, they face the Diamondbacks again today out in Arizona. First pitch is at 2:40 Central Time. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network, or you can listen to it on their flagship station, 670 AM. Jordan Wicks is on a bump for the Cubs. He's 0-2 with a 5.68 ERA going up against Brandon Pfaadt, who's 1-0 with a 6.48 ERA. White Sox. The White Sox game yesterday, thank God, was postponed due to rain. And we part of a straight doubleheader today. Game 1 starts at 1:10 p.m. on the south side. You can catch that game on NBC Sports Chicago, or you can listen to it on their flagship station, AM 1000. Game 1, Brady Singer. With Beatty. Don't you hate when you have I got fat fingers. I got big fingers, so sometimes I hit the letter I need. Anyway, here we go. Brady Singer, who's 2-0 with a 0.98 ERA, going up against Jonathan Cannon, who's on the bump for the White Sox, making his White Sox debut. So it's not looking very good for that one either. First of all, we can't score runs. Secondly, we're going up against the pitcher in 2 starts is giving up. His ERA is 0.98. And we have a guy on the bump who's making his major league debut. Wow, that does not seem in our favor at all. And then the second game, which will start about 30 to 45 minutes after the first game, Michael Wacha. All right, who's 1-1 with a 4.0 ERA. All right. He's on a bump for the Royals. And Eric Vetty. He's on a bump for the White Sox. He's 0-0 with a 4.30 ERA. I was talking to my producer, Steve O, before the show. We were talking, and he's a Cub fan. And he said, we were joking. I said something about, the Cubs are stupid. And he's like, well, if you want to watch any good baseball, he goes, you're going to go to the north side. I said, you can watch good baseball on the South Side. I said, just whoever's playing my White Sox. He started laughing. He was like, you're there? I'm like, yeah, I'm there. I'm there. I am right there. Oh, man. So, yeah, that's not a good thing. Yeah. Not a good thing at all. But anyway, moving on. The next top of the morning topic, baby. Look at this. The Bullies, baby. You see me wearing my hat. Yes. The Bulls. They host the Atlanta Hawks in the play-in game. The Bulls are the 9 seed. Hawks are the 10 seed. That game is tonight at the United Center. Tip-off for that game tonight starts at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on ESPN. However, you also, if you want the local broadcast, only local broadcast you can get is on their flagship station, 670 AM. So the game is on ESPN. It's on the 4 Letter Network, 8:30 Central. So I'm definitely going to go check that out tonight. So they have, here's the thing that I'm thinking. There's a Dick's Outlet by the crib down the street. Yes, Dick's Sporting Goods Outlet. And they have some DeMar jerseys, some Zach jerseys for like $50. So I'm thinking about getting one. Since DeMar wants to be here, they'll probably keep him here. So I'm considering it. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But every time I go in there, I look at it, I'm like, man, dude, do I want to? Not this time. And hoping every time when I come back that the jerseys are sold out in my size. Like, yeah, this way I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, they're still there. So we'll see. If I make that purchase, I'll let you guys know. Yeah. Well, the next top of the morning topic before we take our break is this. Wow. The White Sox the Blackhawks, and the Bulls. The White Sox, the Blackhawks, the Bulls. Oh, my. The White Sox, the Blackhawks, the Bulls. Oh, my. Looks like they're going to have a new home, a new streaming home. It looks like they're going to be moving to Stadium. Now, Stadium is owned mostly by Jerry Reinsdorf. Gee, there's a shocker. There is a shocker. So let me read this exactly because I don't want to misspeak. Because here we go. Nope. So NBC Sports Chicago is might be gone for good. All right, in an article by Jeff Agres from the Chicago Sun-Times. Oh, que la Chihuahua. You know, see the team's contract with NBC Sports Chicago expires in October. Now, there's a chance, according to Jeff, that the sides agree to a 6-month extension, in which case Stadium would take over when the White Sox start next season. Okay. That is the scenario. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I could read it. Hasta madre. Yeah, so they might be over, and the headquarters is in in the United Center. Gee, there's a shocker. Headquarters is in the United Center. And the one thing that there's a big issue now. There's a big issue. We're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. So listen. And we'll get to more of your comments on the other side. So do me a favor. Don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Whoa, hold on. We didn't do that.
Left center, and that's a leadoff double in the Cub third.
Miguel Amaya batting.
Line drive, and that is a fair ball. Happ racing for third, and he's coming around to score. Amaya cruises into second. It's an RBI double, and we are tied. Line drive into center field, base hit. Horner across to score. It's 8-7, and racing for third is Swanson as he gets in there. And the pitch. And Bush will take his base. That's a pretty good at bat.
Are reloaded for Chicago. Ian Happ is the 8th man to bat in the Chicago 7th.
Drilled left field towards the corner. Gone! Grand slam, Ian Happ. Oh, baby. And the Cubs have the lead. It's 11.
And they couldn't hold the lead. Yes. They still fall 11-2. Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. Those are the Cubbies yesterday out in AZ getting it in. See, let's check the the thread. See who else is on, man. AC Adam in this joint. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Yeah. Who else? Man, a whole bunch of people. Mr. Shorty, he's in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Shorty, how you doing, buddy? Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate it. Sean Wall is good. Everybody's exchanging pleasantries. Illinois Jones in the house. What's up, Papa? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Woo-wee. I like it. I like it a lot. Cornelius Squalls in the Mother Hubbard. Hell yeah. What's up, Cornelius? Thank you, Papa, for tuning in. Don't worry if you're late, man. Cool. Do I need to buy the MLB package? I'm this close to buying the WNBA package for $35. We're going to talk about that. Yes. Do it. Do it. Do it now. Brandon Schutz in the house. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, Shorty. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. So the next top of the morning topic, I like what I did there. There's some new stars in the sky. Yeah, baby. The Chicago Sky on Monday. Part of the WNBA draft with their first pick, first round. Number 3 pick overall. They get our girl, Camila Cardoso, the Brazilian. 6'7" Brazilian national champion from the University of South Carolina. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Man, I'm telling you, I was so fired up. Woo-wee. I was fired up. And there was talk. Remember I put this up yesterday or on Monday? Remember I put this up on Monday? Where'd you go? Which way did you go? Which way did you go? Oh, don't tell me Steve-O took it down. He did. Steve-O. What's that? There's a chance for us to get Angel Reese, and guess who the Sky got with their 7th pick? Oh, wrong one. Angel Reese. That's what I'm talking about. Bayou Barbie. She's coming to the Shy. Man, I am fired up. That is dope. Man, peep this. Here they go. First 2 picks. They go from being warriors. I am the warrior. And opponents to being teammates. How dope is that? Listen what Cardoso had to say.
Hi, Megan McGovern with NBC Sports. Angel Reese was just drafted 7th to the Sky. So how do you guys think your games will complement each other?
I think it's going to be great. She's a great player. I'm a great player. So 2 great players together. Nobody's going to get no rebounds on us.
Annie Costable from the Chicago Sun-Times. What has been your conversation so far with Teresa and Jeff? And which player, I guess, any specific that you're most looking forward to joining forces with within the Sky?
My conversations with them being amazing. I'm all about energy. She has a great energy. He has a great energy. I'm just excited to get there and get to work with them. And about a specific teammate, I'm just excited to meet the whole team. So it's actually going to be my first time in Chicago. I'm really excited. I hear really good things about it. I hear you have like some of the best pizzas, and I'm excited to get there.
I love it. It has some of the best pizzas. You're damn right. Not some. Let's get that straight. That's the best pizza. Oh man, that was awesome. You know what? Let me say something. I'm very happy, right, for what's going on there with the Sky. Okay? They got Camila Cardoso, got Angel Reese, and then they got a 3-point dead-eye shooter in Brenna Maxwell from Gonzaga, 6-foot guard from Gonzaga. And I understand they got her. She was the first pick of the 2nd round, round 2 pick number 1. Go watch your tape. Go watch your highlights. She's a dead-eye. She's a dead-eye shooter. So I love what they're doing. My biggest thing is this. It's not the talent. Don't get me wrong. I'm ecstatic about the talent. It's their head coach, Teresa Witherspoon, Teaspoon, they call her. She was coached by Kim Mulkey at Louisiana Tech. And she's going to do something to this team that Chicago is going to love. This team will be tough. And it's going to and for Camila Cardoso, it's going to be an easy transition for her. She's coming off a tough coach in Dawn Staley. Angel Reese coming off a tough coach in Kim Mulkey, who coached Teresa Witherspoon. These two girls are going to be a force. Now, I understand the league is they want with Caitlin Clark and all this. They're looking to get more points scored. I get it. I love it. But until you start getting more, you're going to need to get points. So that's why they got Brenda Maxwell, and they're going to continue to go down low. They're going to get people in foul trouble. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have to collapse on these two girls. You're going to have to collapse on these two girls, and then what? That's where Brenda Maxwell comes in. That's what I'm talking about. Great job by how do I pronounce his name? I keep the new GM for the Sky is Pagliocha. Okay. Anyway, the new GM. Great job. You got two. And here's some of the thing that's awesome. The star power. I hope Camila Cardoso isn't gonna get caught up in Angel Reese is more popular than me right now. Because Camila Cardoso is popular. She's very popular. She's not Angel Reese popular. Okay? She's not Angel Reese. Because Camila Cardoso wasn't the star of that South Carolina team. The team was the star of the team. Dawn Staley kind of was still the face of that team. And there's no disrespect to Cardoso. But Angel Reese was on the scene last year with her and Caitlin Clark, her beating Caitlin Clark in the national championship game, them talking smack. She's going, this can't see me in front of her. Look at my ring finger, all the stuff. And people knew who Bayou Barbie was. She's got a personality. Did you see her drip? You see her outfit at the draft? So as long as there's no jealousy, none of that nonsense, we'll be fine. And you could call me crazy. I've been called crazy before. I just don't want any female pettiness or cattiness to get involved. Okay, I don't. I really don't. Because if not, if they can avoid that, let me tell you something. They have a nice squad. And don't get me wrong, I don't know if they got the best draft. The LA Sparks got a nice draft too. Let's not get it twisted. Rakia Jackson from Tennessee. Ooh, Charlie, watch out now. Hold on. Let me double check. I don't want to misspeak. My newspaper's over there. But they got two nice players. I think they're 3-6 or 1-6 for the Sparks. Yeah, they had a nice draft too. But our Sky, they got this, man, ticket. You know how people are excited? Ticket prices went up immediately. Game for the Indiana Fever with Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. Remember, Aaliyah Boston was on South Carolina 2 years ago, who lost to Caitlin Clark in the Final Four, ruining Dawn Staley's perfect season 23. They were undefeated in the regular season in 2023. All right, get to the Final Four, and they lose to Iowa. Aaliyah Boston. Remember, Aaliyah Boston's doing color commentary now on ESPN. So Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark are now teammates in the Indiana Fever. Guess what? Their game against the Sky sold out. June 1st, I want to say it's here, sold out. And the tickets for that game were $30 before the draft. After the draft, $200. $200 make you holla. From $30, $40 to $200. course, that's a secondary market. People who bought the tickets from the team paid you $30, $35, whatever it is, and they're selling them, and they're going to go for, and that shows you the interest. That's where we want this to continue to go. I said, hey, I'm going to go to Dick's Outlet, see if they have anything there. If not, I'm going to go to the actual Dick's Sporting Goods store, and I'm going to give me a Sky hat. I'll pay full price. I got no problem paying full price. Why? Because listen, this leads to my next top of the morning topic. Okay? Look at the contracts. Look at the contracts. I inadvertently put that up first, but look at Camila Cardoso. She's the number 3 pick. 4 years, $338,000 for 4 years. So this year he's going to make 76.5. In 25 is 78. In 26 is 85.8. And in 27, 97.5. She's not even making $100,000 a year. She's the number 3 pick overall. Bayou Barbie, same thing. Look at her contract. She's a 7th pick. $73,400. In 24. In 25, it's 74.9, so about 75,000 in 25. In 26, 82,400, 399. And in 2027, which is an option, $93,600. So, don't complain. There's everyone, and I hate it. People kept putting up those memes. This is ridiculous. This is this. I'm like, shut your ass up. Okay? Shut up. It's literally business 101. Business. When you don't generate that type of revenue, you can't pay your employees that type of money. You know what? How they can generate revenue? Buy some season tickets. Or go to a couple. If you're not going to go buy season tickets, go to a few games. Buy some swag. Buy some Chicago Sky hats, some jerseys, some T-shirts. Take your daughters to your game. That's the most important thing. They're trying to expose this to the young ladies because the boys can't play in the WNBA. So for all of you who complain, and I've said this, you've heard me say this before on the show. If you're bitching and moaning about, it's terrible. Look, the NBA makes about 60 times more than the WNBA. That's why you got those crazy contracts. They need a TV deal. You got to have people who are buying swag. As I said, all these things that go along with this, this goes into their salaries. So the next collective bargaining agreement, their salaries could be starting at 6 figures. They could be at 6 figures. Hell, Caitlin Clark, same thing. Caitlin Clark's not making a lot of money, per se. Caitlin Clark is not making a lot of money at all. I thought I had yes. And it's extremely important that we support these girls. And I love the fact that this class could be, I don't want to say the best, all right, because there's been a lot of classes that were good. This could be the most influential class that's come into the WNBA. Okay? This could be the most influential class that comes into the WNBA. Remember, I said the other day, they better embrace these girls, these young ladies. Like, don't hate on these girls. Listen, don't get me wrong. They're rookies. So, as I said, you're going to carry our bags. You're going to do this. I don't know about buying steak dinners anymore. Like, they're not getting 4 points, $25 million signing bonus. But this is a class that's going to get them money. This is the class that's going to up. It's going to up the ante. Okay? This is it. Look, here's Caitlin Clark's. She's not even making $100,000. You realize she made, double check, because it's one. Yes. You realize Caitlin Clark, what she made last year in NIL money? Like if I were her, I'd be like, yeah, I'm probably gonna go back to school. I guess she couldn't. She was a senior. Okay, she was a senior. But do you realize what a pay cut she's taking? Do you realize what a pay cut Caitlin Clark is taking? Because Caitlin Clark, let me tell you something. Let me show you this and put this up on the screen. Here's what Caitlin Clark made last year as a senior at Iowa. $3.1 million. That is her contract with the WNBA. Take the banner off so you can see. That's crazy. So again, if you want to support these girls, if you're one of the people who says, "Oh, it's crazy with how much they're not making and blah 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 blah," okay, no problem. Then you make sure, okay, you make sure that you support these girls. You make sure. Okay, so I shouldn't say, I keep saying girls. You make sure you support these women. Okay? And I'll tell you what, there's a lot of buzz going on right now. A lot of buzz. A lot of buzz. And I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. They gave us great basketball. They gave us passion. You got the big names, the stars who performed. You got good, fundamentally sound basketball, exciting basketball. You got little rivalries. And then now guess what? You got rivalries, and all of a sudden the rivalries are like, oh, we're not. So now what's going to happen when the Indiana Fever face the Sky? Camila Cardoso and Aaliyah Boston. Those are two teammates 2 seasons ago. Now they're at each other's. Now they're at odds. See what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is beautiful. That's funny. The price for nail polish in the Shy is up with Reese, Caleb, and Cardoso. You're a damn fool. Tim Taylor in the house. Good morning, Bubba. I don't remember you. That's the first time I think I've seen you in the chat. Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate it. She still could. Hell, if I'm her, I'm taking that. And it's not going to interfere with her regular season. Cornelius, it's going to take a whole lot to beat the Aces, though. Yep, you're right. But these girls they're young. And the Aces, there's going to come a point in time where they're going to want to do something. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's why everyone wants to go to the Aces, to New York. The facilities. That's what they need to do. This new organization, which has Dwayne Wade on its board or as one of the minority owners, you've got to get facilities. You have to. You've got to find a facility. You have to find a facility close to downtown or close to your arena. Okay? There's plenty of spots. You're moving to the south side, man. I'm just talking, you ain't got to go that far south. You can go. So, see, I don't know. Remember the old Click? Or E2? Remember they had, if you're from Chicago, if you're not from Chicago, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you're from Chicago, you remember E2 or the Click? Where they had the stampede and a couple of people died because everyone was rushing out. And they were just literally stuck at the doorway. What if you buy that building? Because they have an adjacent lot next to it. You buy that whole half of, you can put 2 basketball courts in there. There goes the warden. Have your training facility, a weight room. You could have all that stuff there. All right, they need an influx of cash. You need to treat these women like first-class athletes. That's why people want to go to Vegas. Vegas, guys, has an endless supply of money. Chicago needs to start acting like a big market. You got one of the Laura Ricketts is part of the ownership group. Dwayne Wade is part of the ownership group. Come on, baby, you got some money. You got to make this a first-class organization. Because if you do make it a first-class organization, guess what? People are going to want to come here. You put your training facility in the South Loop, or like over in right off close to Chinatown, or right by Wintrust Arena, which means all the girls can live over there in the South Loop. Come on, man. You can either walk to practice and games or take a quick car ride 4 blocks to your games, 3 blocks to your game. You know what I mean? And then they have the VU rooftop right across the street from Wintrust Arena. Come on, man. This has to be done. You have to treat this team like a first-class organization. You got to spend. You got to spend, and people will come. You build it, they will come. FFG style. Good morning, Papa. The Sky gonna run people off the gym while playing Smothering D under Spoon. Yeah. First and foremost, they're gonna lock you up. They will be tough. They will be tough. I agree. And the reason is that you have to wait 3 years. So you get to know these players. All right. Had Angel Reese gone into WNBA last year and had not come back? I think she had 1 more year of eligibility. But just say, like, she wouldn't have the same gravitas. She wouldn't. And so I love the fact that, yeah, Shorty, they make less than you. Yeah, that's crazy. You see what I mean? So this is why we got to support. I'm definitely going to go get some swag. Give me a hat. So it's going to be, it is. Illinois Jones, it is going to change college sports because now, especially in the women's game, it's going to make the women's game stronger. You know why? Because now girls aren't going to want to come out after their 3rd year. They're going to want to stay. Let me see. Should I stay in college and make $3.1 million? Or go to the WNBA and make $500,000 over 4 years? $3 million? Hell, $2 million, $1 million, $500,000 for my senior year in college, or do I make $70,000 in the WNBA? So what you're going to get, and here's how it's going to help the team. Here's how it's going to help this league. Watch. What you're going to get a better product, because when you get to the pros, they don't have time to teach you the fundamentals. They don't. That's why the NBA product is such shit right now. You got all these youngsters in here who've come from high school and AAU, where they don't teach you how to play or focus or stress defense. Defense is a foreign word to them. Then you jump into the NBA. Well, guess what? You can't defend. You're not big and strong. You're 18 years old, 19 years old, going up against grown-ass men. You need time to develop. The time that you would have been using in college to develop and work on your game and get better and master the fundamentals, you got to do that in the league. Oh, but guess what? They don't have time to teach you that in the league. Your time is limited. So with the women's game, you have to stay 3 years, which I think is great. So now you got 3 years of coaching. I don't care if you jump from team to team, terminal, transfer port. I don't care. You're still getting coaching. They still own you for all intents and purposes. But you're making good money. And the fundamentals are going to be stressed. So when you get to the next level, those fundamentals are going to be there, which means that the level, the floor of the WNBA is going to be higher in a couple of seasons because people are going to stay for their they're going to stay for their fourth year. I don't know about you, especially if you come from a lot of the places that some of these girls come from. Okay? You want to stay and make $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, depending on who you are, in NIL money in college? Or you want to go make $85,000, $70,000, soon it'll be $75,000, $80,000 in your first year? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Illinois Jones, you're right. There's a place that was called, it was the place that Michael Jordan had. It's called it's on Randolph. It's where it was called Attack, and that's where Tim Grover and Michael Jordan used to train in the offseason. Tim Grover had his, I wonder if that's still his thing. But no, you definitely they need their own space. They need to buy land, buy a building. You know what? Create it. 2 basketball courts, a weight room, a rehab center. You have to do it. You just got to do it. And you say you take it to the West Loop. The only reason I say that's cool because the West Loop is dope. That's real dope because then you have the girls going up and down Randolph for dinner, for lunch, after practice. You know what I mean? And that's cool. South Loop isn't as developed yet. There's still along Cermak. There's a couple good places. I just said keep it there for logistic purposes. But even if it's in the West Loop, that's still fine. No shit, Jay. Yes. Be Smooth in the house. What's up? Be Smooth. What's up, Brian? Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Yes. At least women's basketball for now. But see how, and again, remember, it's going to impact the game because all of a sudden the game's going to get better because you're getting seasoned players in the league. Don't forget the influx of European players. So you're getting players 3-4 years into college like we used to do back in the day, stay 4 years. So the talent level, their fundamentals are sound. So the level of play in the WNBA is going to increase. It's going to get much better. When that happens, man, now you get more people going to games. Now here comes a big TV deal. Now everyone wants to buy swag. Now this the whole thing. So it's a good thing. King Book of World, what's up, Papa? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you, buddy. So you see how this is going to help the WNBA? NIL is going to help the WNBA. It's money. It's all it is. It's money. And the longer you get these girls to stay in school, making millions and millions, and not everyone's making millions, let's be honest. But the stars are making millions. Hell, even if you're making $750,000, $500,000, $100,000, you're still more than your contract in the WNBA. You stay. And remember, there's only 12 teams. They're going to expand. Why? Because there's going to be an influx of talent because all these girls who are coming out, they're going to be good enough to make a team. You only got 140 spots. There's only 12 women on a team. 12 teams. Do the math. 12 times 12 is 144. You remember the paper? Columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You remember you had to memorize those? 12 teams, 12 players, 144 slots. Don't forget the European people coming in. Don't forget the veterans who are still there. They're looking to expand. They need to expand, and they will. But the level of play is going to increase due to young ladies. I gotta stay saying girls. Due to young ladies staying 3 and 4 years because they're making that money in college. Which means the WNBA is going to get much better much sooner. Within the next 10 years, I guarantee you'll see $250, maybe even 10 years, maybe $500,000. Okay, now you're starting to deal with what pro athletes should be making. Okay, As long as they don't get too crazy. But the swag, and remember, if you're one of those people, I'll say this before I go because Ken's about to join us. If one of those people who's complaining about the disparity, all right, how about this? How about you shut your mouth? Know your role, jabroni. Shut your mouth and go to Sky Games. Shut your mouth and buy swag. Shut your mouth and go get you a hat. Go get you a shirt. Go get you a jersey. Take your kids to Wintrust Arena and watch these girls. So the next 10 years, their contract should be $500 for your first year, $700 for your first year, maybe even $1 million for your first year. But that's going to come from us, the fans. It's going to come from the girls because of their level of play, staying 4 years. Because I'm telling you, if you ask me, if you ask any of those girls, you want to stay for your senior year and make over $1 million? Of course, these are the big girls, the stars, and make $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Or you want to go to WNBA and make $75,000 for your first year? $75,000, $2 million. $75,000, $2 million. $75,000. I'm not a math major, but I'm staying for $2 million. And that makes the WNBA better when these young ladies get there because they've had 4 years of college, they had 4 years of fundamentals, and the product for the WNBA is better. Man, let's take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, you know what time it is. My man's in them. Ken Davis is going to join me. And we're going to talk. Man, we're going to talk a few things. We'll continue this conversation with the Sky because Ken was a big proponent of the Sky. He was at the playoff games when the year they won the title. He was up in there with his pom-poms like, yeah. It's all right. You'll see me with my pom-poms. You know why? Because I support these girls because you know what? I know what it's like to be a pro athlete. All right. And for them to be making the money that they're making, it's embarrassing. So how do we change that? We got to go support. Nothing more, nothing less. We got to go support. So if you see me on Friday with a Sky hat, you know what I'm talking about. Put my money where my mouth is. All right. Listen, we got a lot to talk about with my man Ken. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the Army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I miss so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am. I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Underneath, that's a terrific look. South Carolina still not able to get Cardoso. They finally get it to her down low. Every time. Still letting her team play on. Now they go into Cardoso. Every time.
Ball working behind Cardoso. Feeds her again. And more easy catch. The same. Dearbox dives inside and gets swallowed up by Cardoso. No rebound. Snare Cardoso. Unstoppable.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah, big girl. Hey, yo, big girl. Work it out. That's what I'm talking about, baby. She's getting down low. Get out of here, boy. I love it. I'm excited for them. I'm really, really excited for the Sky. And welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the 4-letter network, ESPN. And that's the Chicago Sky's first round pick. Camila Cardoso from the University of South Kakalaka, South Carolina, national champion, and 6'7", And man, we had a conversation right before the break, but I'm going to bring in my guy so we can finish this conversation before we move on to some other topics. You've seen him once or twice here. He's a good friend of the program. You've also seen his mug on NBC Sports Chicago. He's the host of the Under Center podcast, also host of That Davis show. Man, you can find him on Twitter at That's Davis. Man, let's bring him in. Our man's in them, Ken Davis. Ken, what up, Papa? I didn't even give you the intro because I'm like, we got to get to it, dog. We got to get to it.
The intro is always wonderful, but we don't have to do it. I'm happy to see how excited you are, and it's funny because we were talking. I am a part of the Big Ten country on NBC Sports Chicago, and I was talking about the fact that people didn't really experience that last championship because it was so new here and it wasn't what we're used to when we're talking about women's sports. But I remember even telling you, like, dude, take advantage of this because we don't win titles around here like this.
You're like, dude, it's fun. You were telling me how fun it was.
And we haven't won the title. We haven't won the title since. So, like, sometimes, like, I see, like, comments on, like, social media and it's like, ha, ha, ha from dudes. And it's like, you're laughing, but the Sox suck. Right?
Dude, they're not even that good.
Right. You're right, Shawn. We're laughing and the Bulls are in the play-in, right? We're laughing and we got to wait until they get more talent around Connor Bedard. So, like, it doesn't make sense. And the fact, and you alluded to this as far as staying, the fact that the ladies stay, the length that they stay, it elevates women's basketball because they're better skilled when we're watching the tournament because they're all senior laden, even the young, like Juju was playing with a bunch of transfers that were seniors basically, right? So you have a higher level compared to sometimes we're watching a men's game and it's Hack City. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, or it's 2 minutes without scoring. It's like, you lost the ball, So it's one of those things where, yeah, they're not jumping through the sky, right? Shout out to Cornelius. Nope. Not jumping through the sky, but it's great. And then I had great one, Shawn. And so it's funny. I had a desire for the Sky to have Angel Reese for 2 years. And I was talking to Tony Gill some weeks ago, and I gave him a comp because it finally hit me who my comp was for her, right? And it was somebody that the same way I wanted to be on the Chicago team, right? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Her comp is Joakim Noah. And I'll tell you why. They were both awkward offensive players where they had an offense, but it was awkward. And Shawn, I bet you'll get this. Remember initially, you couldn't trust Joe with bunnies because it looks like he jumps off the wrong foot, right? But Joe was a player, and this is why I loved him and Al Horford at Florida, that both of them would start the break, grab the rebound and start the break. She does the same thing. Both of them were adept at being bigs who could move the ball. And that's what helps when you have with Cardoso here. And I'll get to Cardoso and even how Angel Reese may benefit her in a second. Hopefully. Let me say hopefully. But then you have a defensive leader and an igniter in Angel Reese. So for me, the comp is a lot what Joe was for me with her, for what she can do for a team. She is a similar style player. She actually she's probably a better college player than he was, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And I like I say, I love Joakim Noah when he was at Florida, him and Al Horford and Corey Brewer. With Cardoso, the only thing with her, she's going to have a battery jumped in her back. And that's what I think, Angel Reese may help. But if the one thing that makes me feel comfortable, but still I'm alarmed, she hasn't been playing basketball in the States. We all know she started here when she was 15. The young lady's probably like 21. So she's still got a lot of growth. You know, when you look at coming from Brazil, when you look at, and I'm not saying it's going to be a similar development, but if you look at like how Joel Embiid and some of these guys that started playing basketball later in life, games continue to expand. I'm not saying she will be as skilled as Joel Embiid. I'm just pointing out that she started playing the game a little bit later. Hopefully she'll gain that, but she's 6'7". And what helps is now instead of drafting an Angel Reese and forcing her to play 5 in the WNBA, she's a strictly a 4 predominantly, unless depending on matchups and depending on, during the game in situations where you're racing Cardoso
units
or whatever.
Yeah,
exactly. But now you have a power forward who's adept at passing with a huge big at 5. And Reese doesn't have to go up against opposing teams' 5s, which would, if you saw her against Cardoso, it was something she did.
Yeah, it was.
She played well. Now she fouled out, in the SEC tournament, so she can play her, but you don't want Angel Reese playing 5 primarily. You want her to play the 4, particularly in the WNBA. And now you gave her a 5-5. I like the Elton Brand one. She could be Elton Brand. It was boring as hell, but if she could be Elton Brand, I'll be happy.
20 and 10?
Yeah.
20 and
But
10?
I like this, what he's saying with the style. You know what I'm saying? Because she can hit a 15-footer, which Elton Brand could do. And Elton Brand could take care of his business with rebounding the ball because we knew he was a double-double, basically entering the league. But I think the Sky, and then you think about Teresa Weatherspoon, and most of us are old enough to remember the defensive player she was with the New York Liberty.
Player of the year?
Yeah, and so now you give her 2 defense. She's starting off with defense with these 2 ladies, right? She's like, what? And it's gonna be hard. Listen, you're not coming in the hole against the Sky, right? Like you're not like, because think about the help defender that. So this hypothetically just say there's a big Cardoso sticking a big, or it can be flip flop. Angel Reese can be sticking a big, but just think about the help defender. We could just go back to Detroit with the Pistons that won the last finals, right? When you had Ben Wallace, and you had Rasheed. Well, you had Ben, you had Rasheed.
Tayshaun Prince as well.
And just think, great point. And the help defense of, it's not just the guy defending you that can block your shot. It's the guy coming over that you got to also look out for. And that's where now with the Sky, like they're big down low with ladies who are at it as far as rejecting opposing players. So that's one of the things that will benefit. Angel Reese has to become more proficient offensively. She's awkward offensively, right? She has to become more proficient, and there has to be a battery that's left in the back of Cardoso for this to really be what we hope it will become.
Cardoso's gonna have to lose weight, and that's fine, but she's gonna get muscle. And I mean, she's gonna have to transform her body a little bit, and that's fine because you're going from college to pros. All right, and trust me, you mentioned the most important thing, and that's the coach, dude. You're going from, and these 2, and the reason they went to, I believe they went, one, obviously the size, but 2, you're going from a dictator head coach in Dawn Staley for Cardoso to a dictator coach in Teaspoon. You're going from a dictator coach in Kim Mulkey to one of her former players who's a dictator coach in Teaspoon for Angel Reese. So the transition for this style of coaching is going to be smooth and seamless because they're coming from these types of coaches. They're going to get, once Cardoso loses about 15, 20 pounds and adds muscle, man, and you talked about that battery. It's now she's able to up, and now she's not so up and down the court.
Body.
And don't worry, she moves, but she's just a little slower because she's a little heavier. Don't worry about that. That 10 pounds, they're going to be like, oh, listen, big mama, we need you to do this, this, and this. We're going to cut your diet. We're going to get you this, and watch how her game changes. And that's what's got me excited, because Angel Reese can move up and down the court. But if she could toss it up off the board one of these times for Cardoso. I'm telling you. And then let's not forget about Brenna Maxwell. That girl's a dead eye. So go ahead, you pump it down low, and all of a sudden you want to collapse. You got Brenna Maxwell out there, like, come here, boop, gotcha. So I love the fact that they're starting with defense. I love the fact they have girls who love defense. That's like their calling card, defense, with this head coach. And then you draft Brenna Maxwell. That's what good teams do. You know that. You get role players. What I need you to do, I need you to hit threes. I need you to bring the ball up. I need you to assist. I need you to score. Everybody has a role. With championship teams, everybody has a clear and defined role. I don't need you doing more than your role. I don't need you doing less than your role. I just need you doing your role. And once they fit and get a couple more pieces, man, this team's going to be good. They're going to compete with the Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty and the Indiana Fever and the Sparks, because the Indiana Fever got good too, and so did LA had a nice little draft.
Oh, don't let me get on that. The Indiana Let me get a fucking fever. All right. I'm sick of their asses. They were winning when we sucked. All right. Cornelius, shout out to Cornelius saying he is in over Deladon leaving. But at least we knew from when Deladon left Gino Auriemma before even playing at UConn to go home to Maryland. She's always been homesick. She didn't play overseas because she doesn't like going away. So I kind of give, but Sylvia Fowles leaving angered me. Deladon leaving still angered me. The drafts where we missed the top player. So the damn Fever have won titles. All right, while we sucked for years. And then, listen, that damn Wade, former head coach / general manager, trading away all the picks. And Shawn, you knew how I felt about the championship team. They had used all the juice they had. You should have seen that happening. I'm happy that they went and doubled down in this draft. They should have had draft picks because guess who was coming out? Should have had draft picks last year to get Aaliyah Boston. All right, like that. This is malfeasance when they've set this up like this. You had sat here and ignited something in Chicago, and then because he tried to double down on thinking his coaching could automatically get them back instead of thinking that the talent you have to get younger players. You missed a window. And I'll tell you the thing, too. I'm looking at right here in this chat. All right. And I don't see the lovely Patty here. I don't know if Patty's here. I know Mondo's in here early, his wife. But this is dudes talking about this shit. So let alone women have started finally getting into it. But now the reason the sky is going to become more attractive because it's going to become a Chicago thing.
Literally and figuratively.
Yes, where it's like, oh, we on a win trust, right? It's the summer. We're doing something. We go on a win trust, and that's going to make it to where now the WNBA is going to be like, we got to make sure we keep that fire burning with that team because they didn't have an NBA owner that's connected to them. Jared didn't want no parts of that. All right, he was like, not in my UC, right? Like. Jerry wanted no parts of that, so it kind of held them back. What can you say? The excuse of lead copper. Dog, we wouldn't have got the third pick. We wouldn't have got the third pick. You got to trade something in this bad boy, and so that's what. Look, I love her. You know what I'm saying? She got busy, right? It was funny. It was a player in the draft, and they comped her to her, and I was like, yeah, she does remind me of Kalia Copper. It was a young lady out of like Arkansas or something, or Ole Miss. Young lady, she lived in Arkansas. She went to Ole Miss, but she has a lot of copper in her. But we had to trade copper to get into this draft, and then of course you have to make another trade to get into the draft. Then another trade to move up to ensure that you can get Angel Reese. But that was all I had to say about that, Shawn.
Yeah, you know what? And here's the one thing that we need to do, or they need to do, is now they got to build. All right. I mean, builds. They got to get a facility. They can't be out of a park district rec league. Like they need. Like Dwayne Wade, you got plenty of money. You're part of that secret group. All right, Laura Ricketts, you're part of that secret group. You got tons of money. You need to go build. And trust me, there's a lot of land on the South Loop. You start Cermak can go a little further south, 25th, 27th, somewhere in there.
You don't even have to go that far. You can go right there to where my aunt used to live there. You can go right there where what projects? The Ickies. There's still nothing on where there's still nothing, right? So the Ickies are the other side of Chinatown for everybody. So the viaduct, let's just say you get off and you go to Chinatown. The other side was the Ickies. There's nothing where the Ickies is right now, right?
Yeah, so you can go literally 22nd, 23rd, and State somewhere over
right
there.
Just from Wintrust. There's land all along where the Metra runs and Amtrak runs right there. There's still open land right there, almost to 35th Street. So you can go right there.
And I think it's there. And someone, I think Illinois Jones said, put him in the West Loop. I'm like, hey, that's even cool too. Like either way, I say South Loop. I say South Loop because now they can walk to the practices, they can walk to the games. I mean, they probably won't, but I mean, or 3-minute car, 3-minute ride.
But you're right. Yeah, it's right.
If you're in the West Loop, man, imagine them in.
If you're in the West Loop, that'd be nice. And there's still spots. There's still spots right behind Fulton Market that haven't been developed that you're saying you can put them right in Fulton Market. There's attractions.
Tons of stuff to do over there. Had them girls on this big 6'6" girls walking around. Man, you talk about, if you think that place is hopping now, man, wait till they start winning.
Dude.
Man, and it's not. And this I hate to be misogynistic but shallow, but they're pretty. Like Camila Cardoso's a pretty girl. Angel Reese is a pretty girl. Like, okay, these aren't like some of the girls. Some of the they used to call them dykes, but like the butches in the W. These girls are pretty. So you see these girls, you're like, oh my god, like damn girl. You know what I mean? Like
you wilding, and I'm laughing at it. John. I mean, I was trying to keep my job, but no, they are attractive. In that, but I think adding to your point, it helps culturally to where, as far as being the it girls, but what you're saying as far as walking around. And nobody's gonna let something happen to these people in Chicago. I mean, you know how we dudes are, let alone they sisters in the city. So even if it's wild, I'm like, yo, you need to slow your roll or whatever. But this could really become.
Jay Grizz stupid.
This could really. Hey, Rebecca Lobo actually kind of aged pretty. I like old Rebecca Lobo better than I like young Rebecca Lobo, to be honest with you. But it's a different time. We'll get into that. Yeah, don't get us canceled. But yeah, man, still, it'd be great for the city. It's also, and I hate to say this, that outside of the Cubs are looking better. There's not a team, and what perhaps the Bears may end up doing. I know we get to the Bears in a minute. There's not a lot of star power in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? There's not, and the thing is, so even looking at this chat, so for the last let's just say 2 years. Dudes have been paying attention to them because what happened in last year with Angel Reese and them upsetting Caitlin Clark's coronation, right? That's what happened. That's why we know who Angel Reese is, because they upset. We thought actually South Carolina was going to win last year with Philly or Boston.
Yeah, we did.
And then they lost to Iowa, and then Iowa was defeated by South Carolina, was defeated by LSU. So that's put Angel Reese right here. And then we knew all this year Cardoso, because we thought that South Carolina wasn't going to be able to go undefeated and win after losing 5 players to the WNBA last year.
The top 6, the 6 woman. Dude, right. That just
3
goes
in the
to show.
First round. And then Don has, I love Don Staley.
Don Staley, dude.
I love this since the 90s. But then she goes undefeated and wins another title, right? And you see Cardoso at 6'7". Dog, if she can be 75% of what a Brittany Griner is, and I'm not using, because Brittany Griner, you knew Brittany Griner was Brittany Griner coming out of Baylor with Kim Mulkey, and you mentioned Kim Mulkey. She was the same player. So, but if she can just be 75% of that, that's going to just get you in the playoffs automatically. Like I saw somebody in the comment be like, the sky building like the 90s NBA. No. The WNBA is not this 3-point happy league that we watch the NBA right now, where people can have an open fast break and throw the ball out to the 3-point line so a guy can miss it. That's not this. It's not the same. The height still matters, and we can sit here and take advantage of that with what these ladies can do. Even with what Caitlin Clark may do in the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark isn't going to make the WNBA automatically what Steph turned the NBA into. As far as guys taking threes, they have no business fucking taking.
Oh, we know Caitlin Clark had threes she had no business taking, but was making them. Like, girl, you just stepped right across the half court. Do you realize that? Your heel might have been on half court.
And dropping dimes. Crazy.
Dude, how do you lead NCAA in scoring and assists?
Right. I use
scoring
the comp
and assists.
And it's before most of us. Tiny Archibald led the NBA in scoring and assists. Now, you know how wild that is to drop dimes and lead the league in scoring also is crazy. Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, again, that's why I won. That young lady should be like, the fact that the Sky didn't try to set it up to where that young lady is here that's messed up. Because also, I'm gonna tell you what makes me mad, and then we can move over to wherever you want to go. We're right next to Iowa, right? And now maybe Indiana seems more Iowa than us because we're the city, we're Chicago or whatever. But that should be Iowa dollars coming to Chicago. People from Iowa should be coming here, spending their money to see Caitlin Clark during the summertime. So alone that, I don't know what the hell was going on with the WNBA. Because I'll tell you this, Shawn. Let's see if they let Juju Watkins leave LA. Because I got a feeling that ain't happening, right? I got a feeling in 3 years, for some reason, the Sparks are going to have the number 1 pick, right? And her ass is going to be right there. I got a feeling she's not leaving Los Angeles. Maybe I'm wrong. All right.
Maybe Seattle. Maybe she stays out west.
Maybe it's out west. But I'm telling you, if only place I can see her ended up is in New York. Yeah, like it's not going, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not going to let. Then anybody that's getting into women's basketball, and if you haven't delved deep enough, if you enjoy what Caitlin Clark can do, now coming to the Big Ten, watch Juju Watkins because it's different, right? Like this young lady is different as far as what she can do, get to the basket with her handle, with the physicality that she can do. Like this, her dribble, what she can do with her dribble alone. I'll just mention her dribble and the size that she has is wild. I mean, it's wild.
What's so crazy. So my guys, we're joined by Kenneth Davis. He is the host of the Under Center podcast at NBC Sports Chicago. We're talking Sky basketball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago. So my buddy, one of my boys from college, his daughter is a beast. She's I forgot St. John's Prep down out in Maryland. All right. She was the DC Player of the Year, this Player of the Year, that Player of the Year. She just won the second state title. So she's a Terp. She's going to be a Terp next year. She stayed home. I got to keep an eye on her now. I got to keep an eye on her because she's a guard, and she got an older brother who plays at Virginia. So both his kids, I was so happy for my man Bill. Both his kids are hoopers because he was nasty, bro. He's a 6'3" guard with, I think he might have had like a 42, 44-inch vert. Yeah, he was disgusting, bro. 6'3". There was a dunk he had. We were at the Hart Center where our games were played. We were playing Army. It was sold out, and he went baseline. He started baseline, drove to the middle, and he jumped up. And this like 6'5", 6'7" dude went up, and then stopped going up, and Bill didn't stop going up. It was like wham, dude. We lost it. We lost the whole place. We just spilled onto the floor like, oh no, did you say that? We're pushing each other like a mosh pit, like no, dude. It was insane. So his two kids are, like I said, his son's at University of Virginia, and his daughter is going to be a friend, and I'm gonna watch her because she's playing with her brother. She's playing on travel, dude. She's nicey. So that is nuts. But moving on, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. This weekend I'm gonna go look for a Sky hat. Just get a nice little Sky hat. And
dude, those tickets for the Caitlin Clark game were at $200 and some dollars.
$200 from $31.
I was like, 200. But you know what? One thing we were talking about this in the studio yesterday. I don't know if it'll happen because if I own Wintrust, I don't want it to happen. But they should move that to the UC. They should, because they'll sell out the UC. If those two games, when the Fever, because you're going to have a rematch of the national championship game from the before last year, but even in the Elite Eight, a rematch between Iowa and LSU and then even with the national title with Cardoso and Caitlin Clark. But like
Boston and Caitlin Clark,
right? It's a great point. We could at least 75%. That probably still you can sell it out because you have people, but you could probably sell out the UC. But yeah, so anybody doesn't know Sky games, you can get a Sky ticket for like $20, right? And the Caitlin Clark games are already at $222.
Sold out. Yeah,
crazy.
Unreal, and I love it. And you know what? They deserve it. As I said when you came in, in the green room, I hope within 10 years the starting salary is a minimum of $150,000, $200,000. All right, just $70,000 stuff, bro.
If you're saying if we supported it, Will, it's funny. I had this text thread with a group of guys, like D, Tony, and other people that Drew, people you had on here, Josh, and somebody posted that, you know, in 10 years when the WNBA, it was a joke, of course, when they're making millions of dollars, when they start to fly us guys out, I'm going to look like this was a thread. When you're saying that, which is like, man, Angel Reese
WNBA players be flying thoughts out.
Is that right? When Angel Reese flew me out. Yo, but hey, Shawn, I'll be back. Angel flew. She asked me what I was doing. I'm going to the game versus the Connecticut Sun, right? That's when equality will have taken place.
Yes.
When we gentlemen are getting flown out, it's when by professional athletes, it's when equality
for our services.
Exactly.
For our male services.
She said, I gotta get
then and only then will equality have been reached.
I'm gonna holler at you because she look, the plane just got back. I gotta make sure the dinner ready. I gotta holler at you in a minute.
I gotta drive to some hangar out in Midway and then
exactly. As the man.
I hope they just take my car. I just hope they take my car. Oh man, that is awesome. That is truly awesome. Let's talk quick about the Bulls, baby. The Bulls. Yes. At least we host a game. If we win, we get the loser of the 7-8 game. Oh, your thoughts on the Bulls, man? I mean, you know, Arturas Karnisovas is doing his job, like he said, very specifically. I'm keeping them competitive. They're making money. We're selling out the UC and hashtag.
You sell out the UC anyway. That's
bingo.
Fault. All right, that's the fault. The lemmings will show up. Since a man named Jordan has entered that building, regardless if it was Chicago Stadium or the United Center, people are going to primarily sell out the UC because it's cold during the wintertime. And also, they take away where the record from the basketball team. If you've ever been to other cities, they put out a great product at the UC.
They do. During timeouts, which you don't see on TV.
Exactly. During the time, you go to someplace else and we take it for granted, they don't be doing shit. I went to, and this is a decade ago, I went to a Bulls Pacers game in Indy, right at the field house. The shit was so boring during timeouts and halftime. And I was telling fans there, I was like, dog, you should come to Chicago because they go entertain you, right? It smelled like a men's locker room. It was so many dudes there, right? You go to UC, it's ladies. You know, it's ladies at the UC, right?
The atmosphere is nice.
It was like 20% women at this game. I'm like, what is going on, right? Like, what, they don't like basketball in the state? The Hoosiers don't like basketball? But the point being, they do put out, I have to give the Bulls props on that. They put out an excellent product as far as keeping you engaged with what's happening inside of the stadium. Now, as far as the basketball team, you know, it sucks, you know, and it's not about trying. Injuries you can't help. I think when you look at Zach LaVine, we all knew you needed to get up out of that because this was going to happen with Zach, and you waited. I had no problem with re-signing Zach, but my re-signing would have been to move him because I can't let him walk. Because with the NBA, you need salary space to bring in salary space.
Yep.
So, and you need talent to get talent, right? So, but I would have known in re-signing him. Oh, I'm moving this cat. Like it's not even a question. His ass is on the train. Look, shout out to DeMar DeRozan being a vet. Right, and you see the growth. Only thing I can say about this year, shout out to Kobe White.
Man,
right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Kobe White for putting his head down and going for it when a lot of players would have
ignoring the noise,
would have stopped their progression and making himself into a quality NBA player, regardless if that's starting or on the bench. He made himself into a commodity. All right, like a true commodity. Where, hey, you can come get me, you know what I'm saying? Or, well, and then shout out, I'll give Arturas Karnisovas props for this. Yeah, you re-signed him and he did that. So this wasn't last year and then he came back this year and wasn't. You got him on the upswing because you signed him before he performed at this level. So actually, you're getting Kobe on a discount, basically, to what if he hit the free agent market this year, what his contract would be, it'd have been crazy. It'd have been double than what he's at least than what he signed for. So I'll definitely give props on that and props on IU becoming a better player with the minutes that he's been given. I'll in my Bulls discussion with a positive, Shawn. They've done better when it comes to development. And you can see it within those two players. And that has been a Bulls thing where they haven't been able to take players that come to the Bulls and make their games better. You know, like there seems to, like, think about, for instance, you can just look at a recent Bulls player. Look at Lauri Markkanen. Why did Lauri stop? Yeah, some of it was in Lauri's mind, but why did Lauri stop developing here, right? But you see with the players, these two players and the guards, there's been a consistent development, and it came to fruition this year. So I'll give them props to that. I mean, look, if I'm being nice to the Bulls, or Arturas Karnisovas, Lonzo fucked it all up. And I'm not saying it as a knock to Lonzo. I'm saying that if you really pay attention to what they thought they were going to do, he was the key. He was the guy that made everybody want to pass. But he was also, and I think this is a key too that people forgot when Lonzo was healthy for half a season. And that's what makes it so crazy, right? He was the key that made everybody want to play defense too. Like, and that's the thing where you have a player like Lonzo who's selfless, so it makes it more contagious what he does. It makes it, me and Shawn, we had this discussion back then, right? Lonzo, giving up the ball as much as he does and showing that it's not about me makes everybody want to dial in harder, because it's like he not even gunning and he doing this. And that's what Arturas thought, and it wasn't they was going to win a title, but they were going to be good in the East. You know, in around 4, you can go 2 up, 2 down.
Their skinning would have been the Eastern Conference Finals pretty much every year. I don't think playoff. Maybe get to the finals once. Someone gets hurt, but you knew they're going not in the first round. They're not getting knocked out.
Right, and it that you banked on Lonzo and it failed. You know, but Lonzo had an injury history at 2. You know, so you got to look at who told you everything was going to be all right. And told you everything was going to be fine. Like, who are your doctors? And, you know, that can go back, and I'm not saying they're the same doctors at all, but there's been problems with the Bulls to the spinal tap thing with Luol Deng. So, they're a great point. So it's just, that's one of those things where you have a history of injury-wise, either, you know, having injured players, but not necessarily recouping or getting those players back to where they're supposed to be after said injury.
Yeah. And then Mr. Shorty, no, Lonzo's not playing tonight. He'll probably be active next season. Yeah, hopefully he'll be ready. Yeah. We'll see. But let's move on to our boys. All right. I'm excited next Thursday. The draft. This is the most important draft in Bears history since last year's draft, which was the most important. But this one, I mean, it seems like for all intents and purposes, you know, they're going with Caleb. All right. So now you got Caleb, and you know how I felt about that whole situation. But for me, it was never the talent. The kid's talented. All right. But the one thing he had flaws. Well, what do? You go get a guy who's good at developing quarterbacks. You saw him develop. He worked with Russ. He worked with Geno Smith. So now you got a guy who can help a young guy who has flaws, because everybody comes into the NFL with flaws, who has flaws. Then you put stuff around him. Now, what do you do with the number 9 pick? So give me your thoughts, man. What do you do with number 9? And I know it's going to be contingent on how it falls, but in a perfect world, what do you want to see? Who do you want to see the Bears do with number 9? Trade back, stay there, get a wideout, get a tackle, get a tight end. What do you want to do?
No, don't bring
perfect world.
Don't bring Brock Bowers here. Not in a knock, but once you brought in Gerald Everett, that'll be the embarrassments of riches. And I know Shane Waldron has run 13 with having 3 tight ends out there. In my world, to be honest with you, I want Joel. I don't think Joel to be there.
Okay.
All right. But to me, and I know it's not the sexy option. It's more offense, but it's like, damn, I got you basically 2 Pro Bowl wide receivers. All right. Man, Rome Odunze. And again, if they select, which is, look, they're probably going to take Rome Odunze, right? How The draft, look how it's going to shake out. It looks like Rome Odunze is going to be there at 9. And if they take him, I'm not going to be upset. That's by no means am I going to be like, how dare you have 3 really nice, have one of the best trios in the NFL, right? I'm not going to be upset. But I just look at it as you could have Keenan Allen for another couple of years to go along with DJ Moore being young. DJ Moore is a young wide receiver. I believe DJ Moore is like 26, 27.
26.
Yeah, so
bro.
He's just 26 years old. So he still could be the young option. And you could get a decade of a left tackle. All right. Like a decade. Like a whole, like he's 6'8". Like a whole decade. I can find another wide receiver in the next 2 drafts. I don't know if I could find a 6'8" stud at left. Like that's the thing where, and again, because he's playing on the line, we really don't appreciate it as much as seeing someone score touchdowns. So seeing someone get sacks or interceptions. All right, I get that. But when your quarterback's jersey is clean, it's clean. All right, clean. That 13 in the Bears uni, it stays clean if he decides to keep that number. And I don't know if he can. I don't know if it's retired. No, because the Bears got too many damn numbers that's retired already. But yeah, that's where for me I would go. I don't think Joe Alt's going to be there. So I think the Bears are probably going to end up with Rome Odunze because definitely JJ McCarthy is going in the top 10. And the question is Bo Nix going to jump up into the top 10? And will
someone
the Bears
get crazy?
Will the Bears be the reason that happened? Now, the Bears could drive. What I'm hearing, it's a chance they move back.
It makes sense. And again, it all depends on how they fall, because especially if JJ McCarthy goes top 4, all right, or even top 5, because
I'm sorry, I'm looking at Mr. Short. He asked,
no, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Too tall. No, not at my left tackle. If his feet,
no, not at left tackle.
Now, if his feet can, if his feet, let's Shorty for your question. If he's a plodding type of guy and he can't get out, yes. But if them feet dance, baby, no. 6'7" is not there. Like, no.
Yeah, but why? But Shorty, why would you worry about a 6'7", 6'8" tackle when he's on the outside? It's not a guard. Guards aren't 6'7", 6'8". He's not in his line of vision. The tackles are here. All right. His vision is here. All right. It's right here. His tackles are out there. So no, it's still his tackles are on his outside. Like he's not throwing
lane. Even when you think about his throwing lane, so hypothetically, even go along with Shawn saying the throwing lane is between the guard and the tackle. When we're looking at really undersized quarterback, now Caleb is not 6'3". I would prefer if he was 6'3", to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. But he's not Kyler Murray, right? Where it's like I need the throwing lane. If there's no throwing lane, I can't see shit. Like,
he wears lips in his cleats.
Right. It's not that. It's not that either. So no, give me the big guy. Don't go ahead, Shawn.
You know what? It's not sexy, but there's no way on God's green earth you can argue if you take him. You can't argue. It's like, all right, let's do this. All right, what's our next pick? You know what I mean? Like, what's the next move? Because you can't argue. Like, I think we're okay at left tackle. You know, my thing is I think Braxton Jones can be.
I'm with you.
He's
I
okay,
have no problem.
But
he's okay.
But so for me, and my only thing is I don't know what, and this is the Keenan Allen thing. Like, I don't know what Keenan Allen, like, are they going to resign him? Is he going to be happy taking 12, 15 mil for the next 2 seasons? Because you're not going to give him 25 mil. But you better not give him 25 mil.
You get a pick if he leaves too.
True.
So it doesn't hurt because I think it was like maybe a 3rd rounder if he leaves or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but to me, I'm with you. I would prefer, even if they drafted, let's just say they draft Rome Odunze, I still would prefer Keenan Allen to be here for more than this season.
I do too, just for continuity.
Yes, and also it just your point, continuity. But when you have 3 high-level receivers growing with a young quarterback, knowing where they like to go, what they like to do, all right, knowing the tricks and their preferences, it's really beneficial, particularly with 2 pass-catching tight ends. Now you have a proficient running back that's a pass catcher with Swift. You properly put, regardless if this is his last year or not, when you're talking about what's the other Bears running back? I don't know how I just blanked out on
Khalil Herbert.
Thank you,
Rashawn
Khalil
Johnson?
Herbert. I remember Khalil Herbert. I will see what we got from Rashawn, but you know what you have in Khalil Herbert as far as a true change of pace back, right? And now I like the fact that they're being honest with themselves as being like, yeah, he's a change of pace back. And it's not a knock. That's nothing wrong. Hey, shout out to my namesake being a change of pace back with Thurman Thomas in Buffalo. Like, and nothing wrong with having a guy being a change of pace back, particularly when you take advantage of that different speed aspect and throw him in, and guys aren't ready, and this guy takes off one because he's fresh. But yeah, I think that if they probably are going to go with, if they remain at 9, I think Roman Dunze will probably be a Bear. If they move back, perhaps they're going to go with a defensive lineman. That's one thing that I'm really more into the trenches with that pick, regardless of where it's taken. We need somebody opposite of Montez Sweat. All right, your teams are going to now know what the tendencies of Matt Eberflus as the Bears' primary play caller on defense, and try to exploit that. And when you only have one guy that can get to the quarterback, we'll see what Dexter does this year. If the jump is what they say it's going to be, even if it's half of what they say it's going to greatly impact the defense coming right in front of the quarterback. Yeah, but see, that's my only problem is how much 3 technique am I spending in the last 2 drafts? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that's where it's just like, and again, I gave you last year to develop one of these kids, right? So you got that. But you know what? We had on Dwight Freeney on the UC maybe a couple weeks ago. And because we've had Tony Dungy on a lot, and I asked Tony, like, you didn't have a traditional 3 technique for Tampa 2 in Indy. And he's like, nah. He's like, I didn't, So I asked Dwight Freeney, I said, Booger McFarland is nice, but he wasn't a penetrator 3 technique sack guy. He was more of a nose tackle-ish type of guy. What would you have preferred was, you had, of course, a great bookend with Mathis on the opposite side of you. And he basically said, like, look, I would have wanted to have that 3 technique to go along with me, because with me and Mathis, and he actually did this or something like this, and we all know this is rudimentary football. We're coming in off the sides and allows the quarterback to step up. But if you had that 3 penetrating, that quarterback can't step up. So he was just saying that. And so I'm with it. It'd be great. But they've spent so much on that already, with last year doubling down basically on it. Now, not to say that Zach Pickens may not be the nose tackle of the future, or they may not be interchangeable in some ways, but it's just how much equity are you putting into that? You know what I'm saying? And then where are you getting it? So are you getting the kid out of Texas? You get Newton out of
the DUI guy?
Yeah, or U of I. You got a few guys. You got a few guys. I like the Frisk kid. You got a few guys. But it may be easier for you in this draft though to get another end, even if, let's just say, this guy's taking they get another 3rd round pick or something like that. It may be more depth. I guess that's what I'm trying to say too. There's probably more depth at edge than there is. There probably always is a lack of depth at 3 technique, because there's really not a lot of guys that can dominate from the tackle position. I think what Aaron Donald has done, we still don't put enough respect on it. And then I'm saying that we really respect him. But to consistently get double sacks from the interior of the defensive line, that part is ridiculous and crazy, right? Usually if let's just say a 3 tech plays a decade, he may have half of those years where he gets double-digit sacks, probably less than half, probably 4 years out of that 10. He may have like 8 sacks some years or 7 sacks. And
right,
you're happy. You're happy. Yeah, you're happy with that. An undersized 3 tech has been getting double-digit sacks every year within the NFL. That's great. And didn't have a prominent edge rusher with him. Crazy. That's great.
They got Leonard Floyd.
Yeah, that part right there. Like, dude, there's no question he's the greatest 3 technique. No, I have watched, and I probably put John Randall ahead of Warren Sapp. particularly how John Randall played on the edge at times too. You can move John Randall around with the Vikings, but you know who's better than both of them? And it's Aaron Donald. All right, like this undersized dude has been a beast for a decade and then just dropped the mic and walked off the stage like, all right, that's enough, I'm done. But yeah, that's my rant and for Aaron Donald. Ken, what do you think about Johnny Newton? I hope he stays healthy. Not to say that he won't. I like Johnny Newton. I watched a ton of Big Ten football this year. Nobody could stop him. Nobody could stop him.
You know, I definitely like a receiver, but if we trade back, I'm okay with, because I feel some people have proposed the idea of trading up to 5 to go get Marvin Harrison Jr. if 4 quarterbacks go. First of all, I'm like, all right, you got to trade with the Chargers. They need a receiver. Mike Williams left. We got there. Keenan Allen. They might. Why would they trade? You know, okay. I'm okay with, and believe me, I think Marvin Harrison is the best player overall in this draft. But I'm okay with getting a Romeo Dunze or Malik Neighbors, or even Michael Thomas. Not Michael Thomas. The other dude from LSU, Thomas Jr.
But not at 9, though.
No. That I'd have to trade back. Okay. I'd have to trade. If I trade back, I'm not taking him at 9. I'm okay because my thought is this. So some people, have said, oh man, the pedigree, his route running, everything, he's phenomenal. So, some people already put him in the Hall of Fame. Okay, fine, whatever. Do we need a Hall of Fame receiver? Or what if we just get a great receiver? Can they still do some damage? The answer to that is hell yeah. You can be a great receiver. You don't have to be a Hall of Fame. And the thing, everyone's like, we chase greatness. We want everything. We want dude. Every team, there's no team in the in the NFL that has an All-Pro at every position. You might have solid players. The Niners
last year. Look at Kansas City last 2 seasons. They traded away one of the best
receiver core.
Right. They traded away Tyreek Hill. We thought it was all Patrick Mahomes. Tyreek Hill went and done it with Tua. So give Tyreek his props too. But the point is, you traded away one of the best receivers, and then through this year, Rice started to become good. But to your point, Shawn, all they have is a tight end. So you don't have to have, as far as let's just say the Bears, a triumvirate, 3 great wide receivers. That was the point with me with saying that, if they take Ndunze, cool. But it gets to a point where it's an embarrassment of riches. You know what I'm saying? And you should, if Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham are the guys that we think, they got 2 second-round picks select next year. They still got a first, regardless if that first is in the teens or 20s, which we hope with Caleb and this offense and where the defense ended last year. You should be able to find another receiver if you're like Keenan Allen's career window is short. Like, you should be able to find that. So that to me is where it's like, and again, it may not this year. Let's also say this: the top 3 receivers in this draft are special. All right, like they're all special. Rome Odunze, of course, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors would all be the top receiver in any draft that they weren't in the draft together. So there's nothing wrong. Again, if they take Rome, I'm not gonna be mad. All right, like there's only player if they stick at 9 that maybe triggers me slightly, and I'm not going to be upset, but it's going to be like, you could have moved back. But you got to have somebody to dance with you. Maybe if they take Verse that early, but if they're still focusing, I just said they need somebody to book in Montez Sweat. If nobody wants to dance with them and they're like, okay, we could move back to, let's just hypothetically say 13 or 14, right, and still get this guy and acquire another pick, but somebody has to want to do that with you. All the quarterbacks all the desired quarterbacks could be gone at that point, and there may not be anybody that wants to move up for something like that. So that would be the only thing to me. And again, I wouldn't be mad if they get them, but and I think that's sometimes a problem with the draft where us being on the outside start looking at the value of the pick and what you could do and move, and you just may not be able to move and acquire more assets to get the player, even if you slightly overdraft that player.
I'm okay with DeMarcus Walker this year. Okay. And I never want, a lot of people want another edge. My thing is this: one, he's solid. All right. One thing he will do is set an edge. He might not rush the passer. He might not meet the quarterback, but he's going to set that edge. Okay. I am more than comfortable. And again, here's my thing that I've stated for months now. And people still, dude, coaching matters. Washington is going to, if you look at his track record of developing defensive linemen, Coach Washington is going to get the best. So we're going to see the best version of a DeMarcus Walker. Javon Dexter ascending toward the end of last year we're going to see a much better version of him with Walker. Andrew Billings, hell, like I said, they re-signed him before his first season was over. Is how much they wanted him. So I'm okay with that because I know next year's DN class is pretty deep. Okay, and you got a lot of picks. You can package a couple picks if you want to move up to get a specific guy. I'm okay there. I'm excited about Washington and what he's going to do with this young team, these young D linemen and Sweat. I don't think Sweat's young, but I'm excited to see what they can do because now we're gonna see what Zach Pickens can do because if he can bring the best out in those guys and DeMarcus Walker, I'm more than happy with it just for this year. But I'm more than happy with that defensive front. We have enough guys, and then don't forget we still got Dominique, the project kid, Dominique.
No, don't do that.
He's gonna improve. He's gonna eat some snaps, unless you go get someone else in free agency, which you can.
You're going deep, you this. I feel like we had this about a Terrell Lewis and some other guys.
I don't know why Terrell Lewis got cut, dude. He was.
Oh no! I won't argue with you. First of all, John Gibson should be on the damn Bears right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You didn't have enough edge rushers to cut either one of those two.
Yeah.
My point being, though, you told me he was about to snap as far as in the NFL.
He did.
No,
and they're like, no. You know what? You have to lead us in sacks in
so
preseason.
don't hit me with the Dominique. Don't hit me with the Dominique.
Oh no,
that
no,
project. I got
the Dominique. Dominique
don't
project.
Hit me. Yeah, don't hit me.
Okay.
No.
Well, yeah. So I'm liking. I still would like if I'm okay with and I don't want to say disrespect anybody, but like any of the non-top 3 receivers, there's still some good ones that I could, even if it's a one-trick pony. You trade back, you get another draft pick.
You get a vertical guy.
You get Xavier, the kid out of Texas.
Worthy. Worthy.
Larry, or Worthy?
No,
is it Worthy?
It's Worthy. You know what? I'll tell you what. If they had a second-round pick, let me tell you. Okay, the guys that I like, right? And this guy may not be anything because he didn't have the production that you want. But I'm a huge chop guy. All right,
yeah.
From Penn State. I'm a Chop Robinson guy. So this would be the back end of the first round. But also, you know who I really like with the receivers that they already have? I would love if they could get their hands on Xavier Leggett.
Leggett? Oh, yeah. Leggett from South Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the next receiver I was going to say.
He would fit when you have those two guys and you got this Sterling Sharpish, A.J. Brown type guy that's thick but can run. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what he could end up becoming. Yeah. I think they changed it, but he's big enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think he was listed at South Carolina's sister. I think they measured him at the combine at 6. Regardless, he's a big receiver, right? He can body you. But he's the type of guy because he's explosive enough that the weight doesn't slow him down.
Right.
But he's still big, right? And you throw that in with him having a couple of years to grow behind these two Pro Bowlers, basically, that you have, that he's a guy that I like. But this, again, would be if they had second-round picks, and they don't.
Because you get that X receiver, and all of a sudden now you slide Keenan Allen into the slot where he can do some major damage.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's wow. That's exactly what the our quarterback needs, and with Shane Waldron, because we're going to run the ball a lot. We're gonna get a rookie quarterback, so you're not gonna say, okay, we need you to throw the ball 40 times. No, you're gonna run the ball. You're gonna run the ball. Yeah, you're gonna run the ball, run it. Make him come down, make him commit that extra defender, and now you can go.
Even Kansas City. Look, think about the last 2 years with Kansas City, what they've done. They went away from running the air raid. They've been like, we're gonna take some time off this motherfucking clock.
Isaiah. You're gonna earn your $750,000.
We got Beast Mode 2.0 in the backfield, right? We about to use it. We got to wear this kid out, and that shows.
Go get another one.
Yeah, the wittiness of Andy Reid to dog. You can't win. The problem with the greatest show on turf is they didn't take advantage of Marshall Faulk as a damn running back. All right, take some time off the damn clock. Stop giving them the ball back because we can score whenever we want. No, that's part of football. To your point, Shawn, of run the fucking rock. All right, let the defense rest. All right, take some time.
That's more important than
Yes, like that. That's like you. It's synergy with all of that. And if you don't use, and I know the running back is devalued, all right, then it's messed up. But yeah, running back may be devalued, but running backs shouldn't be, as far as in your offensive game plan. Take advantage of that. And we saw that was the problem with Luke Getsy. It was like, connect the running game and the passing game. It's like, dog, what happened? How did we end up in 3rd and long again? And you just was proficiently running the fucking football, right? Why did you switch up and use
2 screens to the left? That's right.
Right. Like, it's just like it doesn't make sense. It's easy, particularly with you have a young quarterback, what you're trying to do. And then I'm not saying that you may not end up in 3rd and longs through to a drop pass or a play breaking down. But the consistency in the second half of football games that the Bears ended up in 3rd and longs, regardless if Fields was in or if Bagent was in, was ridiculous. The same thing happened where both of those quarterbacks would have good games in the first half, and the second half, you're like, what? Wait. Why are you calling that? Like, what? Why are you doing that? And that's, again, run the ball. Be adamant about running the football. It's never going to go away in this game. It goes back to not taking bunnies in basketball. When I was saying that earlier, with everybody wanting to shoot threes,
wide open.
There's only one team that can shoot threes at a clip, and they can't because Clay ain't Clay no more, right? But there's one team,
0 points. Woo.
Right. There's one team that should, but the entire NBA, and we know most leagues are copycat leagues, deciding that we're all going to take crazy threes, even if the lane is open and there's no defender there. Get your bunnies in. That's running. That's the point that I'm trying to make. That's running. Easy buckets is running the football. All right.
Still 2 points.
Consistently getting 2 points. Yes. Even if you're playing a team that can shoot threes, what you have to do is keep scoring, and hopefully that will overcome them. You can't become a 3-point shooting team with the greatest shooting duo ever. Like, that's where you're selling yourself short. So, like, that's it. That's running the ball. Like, run the fucking rock. But that's my point as we get up out of here, man.
Man, Ken, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. I love talking sports with you. Do me a favor, though. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online and your ugly mug on TV.
Wednesday, tonight, 5:30 p.m. Is it 5:30? Yeah, it's 5:30. NBC Sports Chicago. You can catch the Under Center. So wherever you watch your Bulls, your Blackhawks, your White Sox, they run it, they rerun it. You can find that podcast wherever you get your podcast, and also that Davis show. Also, make sure you check out Big Ten Country. I'm on there with James Naveau. We've had a pretty dope year talking Big Ten sports, primarily being with football and basketball. We're right now getting into spring football. And remember that when we're talking Big Ten now, we have those Pac-12 schools that are joining the Big Ten. We're talking about Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA, as Shawn just said. So that's where you can find me at. I always appreciate the support. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I hope everybody's doing well.
Great stuff, buddy, man. We'll talk soon.
No doubt.
All right, boss. Guys, that's Ken Davis from the Undercenter podcast, man, talking all kinds of stuff, man. We could have talked for another few hours. That's my man in there. But listen, guys, you have a great day. You're going to see me today, 1 o'clock. I'll be on my daily Bears talk with Nomad. I'll be here on Shawn Sierra on my Facebook page, on Sports Zone Chicago's Roku channel. So make sure you check it out. So everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, you have a great day. It's a little overcast and cloudy, but you know what? Be thankful for the day. Be thankful for the fact that you're able to see this day. You woke up. So that means today is a great day. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go pick up the warden from CrossFit, and I will see you at 1 o'clock. So all my people, sports owners, no maniacs who come over to watch as well, and all the new people in the chat, thank you so much. I appreciate the love and the support, guys. I will see you on Friday back here, Shawn and Maya in the morning, which we're confirming should have Annie Constable, who covers the Sky. We were talking back and forth, so she said Friday works for her, so she'll probably be on, and we'll be able to talk a little more Bulls. All right, talk some Cubs, talk some Bears. So, guys, we'll see you Friday. Guys, have a phenomenal day. And do, as I always say, make someone smile today. Send someone a text, a voice memo. Send them a voice memo. Say, hey, man, hope everything is well. Checking on you and the family. Let's get together soon. All right? Guys, have a great day. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. I am out.